Number 1, crime rate. The crime data reveals that the overall Ogden, Utah crime rates are 61% higher than in comparison to the Utah mean and are 78% higher than the nation's mean. Guys, are we sure we want to tell people this? Anyway, crime in Ogden is a little bit worse than in other places. In fact, as far as violent crimes go, Ogden, Utah has a 122% higher crime rate than other places in Utah. You also have a 1 in 22.5 chance of being a victim of a property crime if you're within Ogden city limits. So here's the moral of the story, kids. Don't go to Ogden in groups of 23, because if you do, one of you is going to be the victim of a property crime. And if you're not a victim of property crime, chances are you'll be a victim of our number 2 worst thing about Ogden, Utah, bad drivers. Now, it's not really a secret that Utah in general doesn't have very good drivers, but by local opinion, drivers in Ogden are even worse. They're known to be A, not very good at driving, and B, have terrible road rage. On top of that, the roads in Ogden are also cited as a major concern, especially the North Ogden Canyon Road. You know that feeling when you're driving on the road and there's a cliff on one side and a sheer drop on the other side? Well, if you're from Ogden, you do. Now imagine that being your commute to the grocery store, or frankly anywhere. Bottom line, driving in Ogden is not good. Number 3, even if you do get to where you're trying to go, you probably won't be very impressed with the sidewalks because they're just about as bad as the roads. In fact, a lot of the sidewalks in Ogden, Utah are uneven and eroding due to roots growing up from the ground. Where there are problems, instead of city officials having fixed the sidewalks where the issues are, they put up signs that say, uneven sidewalks. Thanks, Ogden. Thanks a lot. Number 4, housing market conditions. Now, in another Lifey video, we talked about the fact that the housing market in Ogden is actually really good. And that's true. It's great. The median price of a house in Ogden is only $188,000, which, like we referenced, is almost half the price of a house in the state's capital of Salt Lake. That's all fun and games for home buyers, but what about for those who are trying to sell their homes? In fact, for home owners, this creates a difficult problem. Because the housing market is so low, they have a hard time selling their houses and making a good profit off of it. Now, there is a ray of hope for those trying to sell their homes. The housing market in Ogden has gone up by 15% in the last couple of years, and fingers crossed, it goes up a little bit more. If the crime rates, the bad drivers, the bad sidewalks, and the bad housing market haven't driven you away from Ogden yet, our 5th con just might. You won't make any money. I'm kidding, you'll make some money. But in all seriousness, the low median income of a resident is our 5th con of living in Ogden, Utah. The median income of a resident in Ogden is a little bit under $41,000, which is almost $13,000 less than the national average. This is due to 2 things, both unemployment and a small job market. Ogden is not a very big town, which, like we said in our pros video, can be a good thing. Unfortunately for the job market, that's not such a good thing. Because Ogden's not a big town, it doesn't have a whole lot of big companies, and therefore finding a job, especially a lucrative job, is a little bit harder. So remember, if you're looking to be the next self-made millionaire, Ogden might not be the place for you. There you have it, folks. Those are our top 5 reasons not to live in Ogden, Utah. Now, if you enjoyed watching our video, make sure to give us a like, give us a comment, or subscribe. We'll see you next time on Lifey.